everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley the Wayward Stitcher. Happy 2023. I know I meant to post a video in December. I meant to post my WIP Parade back then, but as you guys know, we had something very unexpected happen just before Christmas. If you didn't see my community post and you didn't see on my Instagram what happened, we lost my father on the 19th of December. He suddenly passed away while he was on vacation with my mother. So that was and is continuing to be difficult for us. But I'm having a good day today. So I wanted to get on here with you guys and do this while I was in a good and productive mood. So don't want to carry on about that. I'd rather just let you guys know what happened and leave it at that. But also to thank any of you that did reach out to me either here on YouTube or on Instagram or Facebook with messages or checking up on me. I really appreciate it very much. But I'm holding my own. I'm doing okay. So that aside, before that happened, I was down with COVID for a while as well. I had been dodging it all this time, and then I moved to Nova Scotia and I catch it. So both my boyfriend's mother and I had it at the same time, so we were quite the miserable pair. So that took me out for a little while as well. Despite my illness and despite the other thing, I've been stitching a fair amount, so I do have a lot to show you guys right now. And so I'm just getting a call from my mother again, and I have to ignore her this time or else I'm not going to get this Flosstube filmed. Anyway, I have a lot to show you guys as far as WIPs, new starts, and that. I am tackling WIPGO again this year. I did attempt it last year. I think I made it through like half the year, and then I fell off. So we're gonna make a very solid attempt again this year to do that, and hopefully we can do better. It was really fun to try it the first time, and yeah, I just don't know what happened. I think because of the fact that we were moving and we had a lot going on last year, especially when my aunt passed away and everything, I think the train just derailed, and that's okay. Life happens. Life is important. So yeah, but definitely gonna take a solid swing at it this year, and hope to get some things actually finished. And on the topic of finishes, I do have a finish since my previous video. I did finish my Mill Hill honeybee kit. However, I have misplaced it, and don't ask me where I put it because I couldn't even begin to tell you. I thought I had it in one specific drawer, but it's not there, and so it grew legs and walked away, I guess. And there is another thing that I had set up for today, one of my WIPs, and for some reason the project, like the fabric and progress itself, is vanished as well. So I don't know what happened to it. I've been looking for it for weeks and I can't find it. But that's what happens when you move, right? Things kind of get disheveled and mess happens and whatever. I'll find it. I'm sure I'll find it. However, I've taken this room apart probably twice and still haven't found it, so I don't know where it went. Hopefully it's not completely lost because I don't really want to restart it. But what do you do? If that's the case, then I will, because I do love the pattern a lot. So anyway, I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year celebration. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then whatever holiday it is that you celebrate around that time of year, or if you don't celebrate the holidays at all, I just hope you had a few good weeks since my last video. But yeah, I have two different piles on how I'm going to tackle this WIP Parade. So there is a portion of the WIP Parade which is inactive WIPs. So There are things that I don't think I'm going to work on this year, but are still WIPs, and haven't been abandoned, but they're there. And then there is my pile of WIPs that are going to be active this year, whether in WIPGO or not. And of course my new starts that I started will be a part of that as well. So I think I'm going to take a sip of coffee and then we're going to get started. My Doctor Who heat changing mug, I love it. My boyfriend bought it for me and it's my favorite. Alright, so I think this is going to be very disorganized. I didn't do any organizing of this whatsoever. I just took WIPs and threw them in one pile and then took the other WIPs and threw them in another pile, so you're just going to get a mess. Excuse me. And hopefully everything makes sense. I'm going to do my very best to make everything make sense. But I think what I'm going to do first is start off with the projects that are going to be active this year. And then if there becomes a point, I'll put it in the video like a separate point where it's going to be inactive WIPs onward. So if you want to see those, you can watch it. But if you don't want to see those, you can skip it. So a lot of these will be projects that have been shown in my previous WIP Parade, but haven't seen any progress on them. So, but I did take a lot of my projects the other day and I reorganized everything. There was a lot of kits that had the fabric but no floss, and like things were just a disaster. And so I went through everything and put all the projects back where they belonged, fabric in where it belonged, minus this other kit that I still can't find the fabric for, the threads, the pattern, everything. So everything has its own place and everything should be good, hopefully. So what I'm going to start with now, like I said, is the pile to the right of me here, and that is going to be my 2023 WIP pile. And let's get started. So I'm going to start with my new starts just because that's just the easiest way to do this. And a lot of my WIPs now are in these folders. I just got them at the dollar store and they're great. It's actually cut down quite a bit on my storage space take up than the other things I was using. So the first WIP that I have to show today is my Sailor Jupiter figure from Abby Sue Designs on Etsy. And I'm sorry if my ring light's making everything super bright, but it's good lighting, so. And she's being stitched on a 16 count slate gray Aida, and I started her on Christmas Eve, or sorry, Boxing Day. I started her on Boxing Day, and that is my meager little start. I think I worked on her for 2 days and then quit. So, loving that one. And she is a part of my WIPGO goals for this year as a finish. My goal this year will be to finish her so that she can join Sailor Venus. I'm gonna put this here. Alright, and the second start that I did now, some of you guys may know that I do use Twitch fairly often, and Twitch is a streaming platform for gamers, cross-stitchers, whatever. Michelle Bendy Stitchy is a Twitch streamer. She does a lot of live streams there with her stitching. And I know I've mentioned him before. His name is Duo MTL, and he is a gamer but also a cross stitcher, and he mostly stitches video game related pieces. But this year he is doing a self-portrait, so to speak, of himself dressed as Dandelion from The Witcher, and it's called DandeDuo. That's the name of the pattern. The pattern was created by Pick Stitch on Twitch. He's a cross-stitch designer over there, and someone else. I'll try to link them below if I can find the information for them. But I did start this past Tuesday. Don't know what day of the month, what day of the month that was. I couldn't tell you, but and I'll insert a picture here of what the pattern's supposed to look like. And then this is just where I Oh, that ring light's going to be so bright. That's my little start. Just in the scarf area. So I don't know how many stitches that is. And this is just being stitched on a 14 count white Ada that I serged the edges of myself with the sewing machine. So, and this little Pokemon needle minder that I made myself. So yeah, that's DandeDuo. He is my second start. He'll be fun to stitch this year, I'm pretty sure. I'll love him. And then my third start this year was a pattern I purchased in December from eBay. I say pattern, but I mean kit. And it's been one of my like unicorn charts. This one and one other, the Marin Full by Dimensions Gold, is also one of my unicorn charts. I really want that one because Cat Talks and Calico, and I think Miss T and Stitches, Morgan, all three of those girls are stitching it, and I really want to stitch it too. So it's my unicorn chart. I need it. But I found this one. This is Magnificent Wizard. And this is from 2002, I'm pretty sure. And he is magnificent. That's all there is to it. So when I started him last Wednesday, so the day after I started DandeDuo, I picked this one up and gave it a start. And I love it, and I'm going to have a hard time putting it down. And this is currently where I am on that one. So, as you can see, that's the dragon's leg, and his claws from his foot are there. And this is just stitched on the 18 count black Ada that came in the kit. I might have to turn the brightness down on my light. I'm not sure. Maybe we're all right. But I'm really loving him, and when I stitch on him, I can't put him down, and I keep kicking the stand. I'm so sorry. And he is on my WIPGO board for, let's see, 10 days worth of stitching when the number's called, which hasn't happened yet. So he's just sitting here, and I'll stitch on him in between all my other goals and stuff because I just love him so much, and I just don't want to put him down. So that's that guy. All right, and then another active WIP that I've got going on right now, which is my number 10 for WIPGO, is my Heaven and Earth Designs Max Color Tiger Family in the Jungle by Jan Patrick Krasny. And I'm just gonna get a photo for you guys real quick. I have a new tablet for stitching. This is amazing for stitching on. It's so much faster than my other tablet. And this is the chart. I love this chart so much, and I can't wait to do more. This was originally going to be a gift for my dad, but since he's now passed on, this is going to be a memorial piece for him that maybe someday I'll be able to give to my mom, or I might just keep it for myself, because maybe by the time, who knows what life's bringing, right? However, it's a memorial piece for him, and it's my reattempt at travel across the coast of Australia in stitches for this year. I've slipped off the wagon a little bit with that again. For like a week and a half I was doing solid, and I was stitching on it every day, and I was go. But recently I've kind of just dropped off a little bit because I just haven't been, because this is an emotional piece for me. Some days are harder than others to pull it out and work on it, which is understandable, right? However, please excuse all the messy threads, but this is where I currently am with it. Now, my WIPGO goal for this is to finish the page, and I think I'm well on the track to that. I think there's only like 2,000 stitches left or something like that, and it's really not a lot, so hopefully I can peg that out. And then I'm Not sure how I'm going to tackle the rest of the page, or the rest of the project. If I'm going to go this way and try diagonal box stitching, or if I'm going to go this way. Excuse me. So sorry. I don't know which way to go. So if you guys could write in the comments below which way you think I should go with this. So let me show you the picture one more time as to what it looks like, so that you can make an informed decision. So if I go to the right, I'll be getting in where the bird is. If I go downward, I'm finishing the toucan. So if you guys have any preferences on which way you'd like to see me go, let me know. Or I'll take a couple rows at a time and go this way right across the top. Kind of like Royal Rose, but different, because I tried Royal Rose and I didn't like it. So anyways, I might just take, you know, my own method to doing something similar and work the top row that way. The top, like 3 or 4 towers, and go across. I'm not sure what to do, because I really kind of want to go across and then get to this guy in the middle. So we'll see how that goes. So let me know in the comments below what you would like to see, and we'll go from there. So that is my Tiger Family in the Jungle being stitched 28 count Zweigart Lugana on the easy count. And needle minder was made by me as well. Another Pokemon. Alright, next up is my second WIPGO project for this month, which is my Rainbow Fairy by Joan Elliott. Or Fairy of the Rainbow. I just want to call her Rainbow Fairy. Close enough. And my goal for her this month is to work on her for 10 days. I have worked on her for 1 so far, which was last night. So she'll get a little bit more attention tonight. And then moving forward, I think I might take a day on, day off, day on, day off kind of thing. Because I've got enough time in the month that I could probably do that. But this is where I am with her. So right now I'm stitching in along to finish off this ribbon here. And then I'll come in and start filling this in again. And she is being stitched on 28 count Crystal Skies from Polstitches, I think. It's the called for fabric for the... oh, sorry. Is this raindrops? I think this might be the called for fabric. I can't even like 100% be sure about that. It looks like it might be the called for fabric. It's hard to say. I can't even be 100% sure about that. But it is a 28 count, and I think it's still a Polstitches fabric. And once again, needle minder made by me. And she's just fabulous. She's wonderful to work on. She's very colorful. I pulled her out and worked on her. I finished this ribbon off and started working back over here shortly after my dad died, because I needed something to brighten things up for me. So I pulled her out and she gave me some much needed help with that. So that is that one. And the next is another Joan Elliott. You're going to see a theme with me, people. This is Canadian Beauty. And she has been a WIP of mine for probably 3 years now. And she just needs to be done. There's no other way to put it. She needs to be done. And that is the WIPGO goal for her this year, is for her to become finished. Because she is a gift for someone, and that person's been waiting long enough for her gift. There's a needle minder down there. Okay, I have to be careful. So this is currently where she is at. Now the fabric is a 28 count unnamed fabric. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the name of it is. When I bought it, it wasn't labeled, so... I mean, it was labeled when I bought it, but when I brought it to the register, they hadn't put a label on it for me, so I've forgotten what it was. But anyways, and then that is a... oh, it could be argued as to who this is. This is either Costal from Supernatural, or it's the Doctor from Doctor Who. I don't know. Either way, I'm fine with it. But yeah, that's that is Miss Canadian Beauty. She's so close to being done. Oh my gosh. When she comes out for a WIPGO, I'm just going to peg her out. I'm going to try really hard to just focus on her so she gets done. She deserves to be finished. Because she is gorgeous. And I may or may not be taking a trip back to Ontario to visit my mom soon. So hopefully if the WIPGO number comes, it comes before I travel out there so I could take her with me as a finish. But we'll see. So the next WIP is kind of a WIP that hasn't been a WIP for a couple years anyways. And this is kit 1469 from Riolis. I don't think it has a name, but they're 2 little hedgehogs. And this was supposed to be a gift for my 2 friends who had a hedgehog, who's since passed now, but I have a very meager start on this one, but my WIPGO goal for it is to finish it. Or, no, not to finish it. To finish 1 hedgehog. And I hope I have this turned up the right way. I honestly couldn't tell you. That's all I have done. So. Is it the... Yeah, that looks like the right way. Yeah. So, hopefully I can work on this again and get somewhere with it. I think at the very beginning when I was working with this, I wasn't fond of the threads, but now obviously I've got a lot more practice in with the with their yarn-like floss that it doesn't bother me now, because obviously my Blue Jay project is with the same material. So that project, again, like I said, is like 2 or 3 years old, I think. I started it and then never touched it again because I was on the fence about whether I liked it or not. Now here comes the project that I can't find the fabric for. I really wish I could find it. But what I'll do is attempt to put in a picture of where I was last time. I think I have a picture posted on Instagram, so I'll pop it in here. And this is obviously the project. So this is Japanese Garden by Dimensions Gold Collections, and yeah, I love this one. This is as well on my WIPGO list. And the goal for this one is 10 days. So if I can work 10 days on that, that's good progress, and I'll be fairly happy. But it's find the fabric first. So if I can't find the fabric, then I'm going to need a new WIPGO project. And that one's just being stitched on like an 18 count blue, like a sky blue Aida that comes in the kit. And I might need to pause at some point during the video. I'm awaiting a phone call from my new veterinarian. Faith is currently at the vet getting some testing done and some x-rays and stuff. She's been having some issues with her bladder. They did just call me earlier to let me know she does have bladder stones, so that's great. Anyways, I'm waiting on the vet to call, so I might have to pause at some point. That, just giving you guys a heads up. So the next WIP is my Epic Pokemon project, which everybody should know what it looks like by now, but if you don't, I'll insert a picture over here. And this is currently my progress. Peek through here. So last time I was working on it, I was working on, oh gosh, this is always so tricky. Hang on. These big projects that take up like half the... Anyways, I was working here in Rhyhorn last time and in Gyarados as well. For those of you that know your Pokemon. Mr. Mime is starting to come in down here. So, my goal, my WIPGO goal for this one, I think, is to finish 5 Pokemon. When it gets called, to finish 5. Now, that 5 doesn't matter if they're brand new Pokemon or if they're Pokemon that are already partially stitched. Just to finish 5. So, hopefully I can get some good progress on that and start moving things back this way again. So, and that is a cross stitch pattern that was a freebie on Oh, I forget the name of the website now. I used to be part of their forum a long time ago. But it's Lord Libidan, and it's a free chart, so I'll try to pop a link in below so you guys can have that. And that's just stitched on 18 count white Aida. Alrighty. The next WIP is my Mirabilia Aphrodite Mermaid. And she is the absolute stunner. I love her so much. And I'm really trying to not get the glare from the ring light here, but anyways, I absolutely love her. Do you think I can remember what fabric she was stitched on? Nope. But if I do have information about any of the projects that I have listed that don't have information for the fabrics or anything like that from me verbally, I'll try my best to input the information down below for you guys so that you have that. But this is where I am with her. So there is some Kreinik in there. I don't know if the lighting is going to bring that out or not. It's hard for me to see. And I say Kreinik, but I think I substituted for Petite Treasure Braid, but I'm not 100% sure on this one. Might just be the Kreinik. But yeah, she's gorgeous and I love her and I can't wait to get back to her. She is on my WIPGO board for 14 days. So hopefully I can get some good progress on her when she's called. I just love her so much. All the blues. Alright. The next WIP is a WIP that has not been a WIP for many years. Probably since 2011, 2012. Which isn't around the time where I was still quite a fresh cross stitcher, but I was like stitching everything under the sun like I am now. That hasn't changed. This is Roses by Creative Accents or Dimensions. This was a piece that I was trying to stitch for my great aunt, the one who passed away last year. Never finished it, and of course, don't you regret it now, right? Anyways, my goal is to finish this year, hopefully by her birthday, if the WIPGO number gets called before that. If it doesn't, like, if I might have to play with my board and just swap something out so that I can put some work into this and make sure that it's finished by her birthday. Now, if you guys remember, you probably don't, my aunt, when she turned 99, she passed the following day, so it was her birthday, and then we lost her. So this is currently where that project at. It is at, I would say, about 50% complete. And I know that I had a lot of fun with it when I was stitching on it, and so I do definitely need to get back into it. But yeah, it is a goal to be finished this year, so hopefully I can do that. It might even get work in between things, just like I was hoping. And you know, as Jessie always says, your board, your rules. So and when I say Jessie, I'm sure everybody in the Flosstube community knows who Jessie is, but in case you don't, Jessie Marie does stuff here on Flosstube, is the creator of WIPGO, and yeah, as she says, your board, your rules. So if you you want to peg out one of your goals before the numbers are even called, go for it. Like, whatever. The whole point is to help you, you know, make progress on your WIPs, right? So that might come out beforehand, and then I can just substitute in something else. But we'll see. Now, the next one is my Garden Gate by Dimensions. This also hasn't been worked on in a while. This is beautiful and mostly, like, I would say 75% half stitch. And I have a fair amount done on this one. And I think the goal on this one is to finish it as well. Yeah. So this is currently where I am on this one. And this was supposed to be a gift for my mother for Mother's Day. But yeah, as you can see, there's a theme here. I always want to make things for people, but when I put a timeline on them, then I'm just like, nah, no thanks. So I gotta change that. So this is being stitched on the 14 count white Aida that came in the kit. And like I said, WIPGO goal is for it to be a finish. So hopefully I have some hefty goals this year, but we'll see. That is not a WIPGO. My next WIPGO project is the Aurora Cabin by Dimensions. Dimensions Gold. I love this project so much. It is beautiful. I know there's another Flosstuber stitching it right now, but I've been so behind on Flosstube, it's not even funny. But I think that's fair. I've just had so much going on. And you guys are just really going to have to excuse the creases on all of these projects because they haven't seen the light of day in quite a while. But this is the progress on my Aurora Cabin piece. So I've almost got the one wall of the cabin anyways finished, and the tree, and I was putting this along so I could get the roof started. But this is a really fun stitch, and if you can see, I did do the back stitching at the top along the railing there. So this is an amazing project, but the only thing about this project that terrifies me is the 1.5 million French knots. I'm not terrified of French knots, however, there's just a lot of them in this project, and I just, oh my god. If I could find like petite beads or something to put on, then I might do that, but anyway, it's a beautiful project, and I really should get back to that as well. There's just too many fun things to stitch, and not enough time. Alright, another WIP for this year's WIPGO is my Dancing Mermaid by Joan Elliott. And forgive me for a moment while I try to find the pattern. Where are you? This lovely beauty here. And I started her, I want to say like 4 years ago. I can't even be sure. This pattern was in a Just Cross Stitch June 2017 issue. So maybe I started her in 2017, maybe I started her in 2018 or 19. I really couldn't tell you. And I can't remember the name of the fabric either. I think it's Ocean's Tide, if I'm not mistaken. But if I am mistaken, I'll be sure to change that so that you guys can have the appropriate information. But that's where she's at right now. And there is a bit of Kreinik in her her seaweed sash there. If you can see it, I don't know if it's going to bring in the sparkle or not. I'm not sure if it's Kreinik or PTB, to be completely honest, but I think it's Petite Treasure Braid. But anyways, she is lovely. And I think this is a 28 count again as well. I have apparently an affinity for 28 count fabrics. And blue fabrics at that. Big shock. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the fabric's name is Ocean's Tide with this one. And so my goal for her is 7 days. Oh gosh. You don't realize how many WIPs you have until you haul them all out, right? Now this is obviously somewhat of an update video as well, because you guys haven't seen these projects since November, I think. So there's been some work done on them since then. This one is my Nightmare Before Christmas by Story Stitches, being stitched on a 28 count Meyer from Picture This Plus. And as you can see, 2 more of Oogie Boogie's men have showed up. So we've got Shock and Lock now in place. They're not finished yet, but they're there. And then this is the start of the Clown with the Tearaway Face, I think. So I really love this piece a lot. I had a lot of fun stitching on it the last time I pulled it out. So hopefully, hopefully I can get this more or less finished. The goal for this one is to finish all the character blocks, and there's been quite a few changes to this one. However, I was gonna say I don't have the list with me, but I do. Okay, so the DMC 16 that was supposed to be for Oogie Boogie here, I swapped out for 38.19. The DMC 415, which was supposed to be this Christmas tree, I changed over to Petite Treasure Braid PB 54. And then also in the tree and in his Santa hat, I used the DMC Satin Floss in 321. So that is again for Jack's Santa hat and the balls in the Christmas tree. So I'm loving this, and I'm loving using the changes. And my friend Maria decided to give me some glow-in-the-dark floss. So I might be able to incorporate that into this somehow, some way. Don't know how yet, but we'll see. It really looks like some interesting stuff to use. So that's gonna be a treat. But yeah, hopefully I can peg that goal out as well. Alright. The next project that is also a WIPGO project is my Silent Flight by Dimensions, which is to be a gift for my boyfriend, which should have been a gift last year already, but hey, we all know me by now. We know what I'm like, right? Like I said, if it's a gift for somebody, I'm not interested anymore. I get lost. This is my progress so far. So I got started on the eagle's head and his wing, and then I moved over to the left. And this is a Sherlock needle minder that I think I got from Nifty Needle Annies when they were a thing on Facebook. But yeah, this project is, I think the goal for this one is to finish the eagle for WIPGO. Let's see how easily that's accomplished. Because he is not a small boy or girl. It's not a small bird. Now, mind you, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a side story here. I hope you don't mind. Out here in Nova Scotia, there are eagles. Now, mind you, Ontario has eagles too, just not in the place where I was living. And out here, there is, I've posted a photo of the bird before in my community posts, so you guys might have already seen it. But there is an eagle that is in our town. He or she sits in a tree next to a creek or a river or whichever you want to call it. And he watches over that creek every day. So mostly anytime that I'm taking Kristen to work, he'll be in that tree just watching, waiting for food, you know. And I've gone for a walk a couple times there with him now and gone to say hello. And so it's really cool to see one of those birds in the wild. They're so big. It blows my mind how big they are. But he is now, he's my little friend now, and I'm glad to see him around. I stop whenever I can to see him because he's just magnificent. And yeah, it just blows my mind. It just makes me feel so happy that we have an eagle local to us that we can see on a regular basis. Okay, now the next WIP that I have for you guys is my Peacock Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needleworks. And I'm doing the cross stitch only version. And this is it. It's hard to see the band at the top, but it's all yellow. So, and it doesn't really show up there. I was gonna say, it's not showing up as nicely. And this has been worked on since you guys saw it last. This is my progress on it. So since last video, I did a little bit more of this, and I started on this band down here. And another needle minder made by me. And the goal for this one is to finish 2 bands. So I might try to finish the next 2. Like this top one's done, then I'll try to finish these 2. This one has some back stitching on it. But yeah. And then this project does have like a bajillion beads on it as well. However, I'm going to wait until all the cross stitching is done before I decide whether or not I'm going to spend all the money on the beads. Because it is a lot. And we'll just see what kind of financial situation I'm in at the time of this being finished. And then there was another WIPGO project here, but it's stuffed to somewhere else, and I'm going to have to dig it out. But anyway. One of my final WIPGO projects for this year is my Riolis Blue Jays kit, which you guys know was a sal that I did with Calico and Cat Talks, and there was another person involved in that, and I can't remember. I apologize. But I did get a fair amount done on it last year, just before Christmas. But my goal now, despite the fact that this is such a small project, my goal is just to finish one of the birds. So probably this guy here. I'll finish him off, and yeah. So he's beautiful. They are beautiful, and I can't wait to get them finished. Some of these goals might just get smashed, and some of them might not get smashed, but we'll see what the mood is like. So those are all of my active whips that are going to be WIPGO whips. And actually, you know what, if I can find, I don't know if I have a picture of it. I do. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can find the project real quick. This is a mess. Oh, that's not the one. Oh, come on. Where are you? I told you guys this was a mess. It is undoubtedly a mess. Where'd you go? Hold on a second. Of course I pause you and then I find the bag that I was looking for. Alright, so the next whip that's on my WIPGO goals is my Bucky Barnes pattern. And this was a purchase from an Etsy shop, and the pattern's no longer available, so I won't even bother. It's a retired chart, what I'm going to call a retired chart, so there's no point in linking it below. But my goal for him was 2,000 stitches, so that's where I am with him so far. And yeah, so we'll see what I can manage with that. It's a fairly small project. It's really not that big. But yeah, he is a WIPGO as well. Who else is a WIPGO? Okay, there is another one. Yet. And this one is my Mini Dragon's Lair by Ann Stokes. You guys haven't seen this one, I'd say probably in like 2 years, maybe 3. And this is the mini. A lot of people have stitched this one. It's very popular. And I do have a fair amount done on this one. There is a whole page finish and then some. So, and then I think this is being stitched on a 25 count. But don't hold me to that. So yeah, I was in love with this project, so I'm hoping that I can get Pattern Keeper set up, that I can figure out where everything is and continue on. I do have this in a paper form as well, and I was marking it off on paper, so maybe I'll be able to do something that way, but I do love this one, and I'd love to get some more work done on him. So I do, This is a hefty goal. If I can get him sorted out, the goal for this project is to get a page finish. So, that means from this point down to this point. So that's entirely possible, but we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, that is Mini Dragon's Lair by Anne Stokes. So hopefully I can get some more progress on him as well. And then another WIPGO is my Realm of Enchantment by Anne Stokes. And this is a quick stitch. So, love this one. Hasn't been worked on in quite some time. But the goal for her is also a page finish. So I did a weird thing with her, and started on the page and then traveled down to the middle. Because I just couldn't help it. I needed to see her face. So yeah, if a page finish is going to be a page finish, it's probably this one, since there's already been quite a bit of work put into that. But I'll try to zoom in on her face so you guys can see. Get this thread out of the way here. Looks very orange, but trust the process, right guys? Trusting the process here. So, loving this one as well. Just hasn't been worked on very much. And then this is being stitched on, I think, a 28 count even weave type fabric. I can't be 100% sure what fabric it is. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, that does not bring out all the WIPGO projects. Okay. I thought I had them all. Alright, and then I think this is the last one. Yes, this is the last one. Now this one is, pardon the zipping. This one is Elegant Geisha by Gold Collection Petites. And my goal this year is to get her finished. She needs to get done. She has been sitting as a WIP for far too long, and this is currently my progress. So if I really tugged along at it, I'm sure I could finish her. And she's got some specialty stitches as well, which I'm not 100% sure I'm fond of. But anyways, we'll see what we can do. But yeah, so that's Elegant Geisha, with the tentative goal to finish this year. Yeah. So those are my new starts, or those are my WIPGO projects for this year. Now, in the event that I get a WIPGO in the form of a line or 2 lines at the same time, however it plans out, I will be allowed to do one small new start. So it has to be something small that's manageable. I'm not allowed to start anything massive. But then when the free space is called, I will be allowed to do a new start. And I already have my new start picked out for that. And it's my Doctor Who cross stitch by Needleminder Lair on Etsy. So it's this one here. The lovely Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. So that one will be a new start when the free space is called for WIPGO. And it will be my only other new start this year that isn't something small. So that again is a fairly sizable project. And that's just my free space thing. And then once I get a blackout on my WIPGO, I'm allowed to buy one new kit. That could be a Haid kit. That could be a Dimensions kit. It could be anything. And I'm not going to allow, I'm going to allow myself to have a relatively decent budget for it. Because I feel like if it's something that's on Etsy and it's maybe a bit overpriced, I'll still get it anyways, just because of the fact that, hey, I earned it because I did really well with WIPGO. So that is the thought process on that. So if I can find a Mare in Full maybe I'll buy it for myself as a reward, right? We'll see. Alrighty, next is the non-WIPGO projects for this year. And we will start with my hummingbirds and rhododendrons. This is a project I started last year for my mother-in-law. And this is the progress. And this is being stitched on an 18 count Fiddler's Aida. So this might be worked on this year just as a side thing, not really wanting to get any real amount of progress on it. And I'll insert a picture here of what it's supposed to look like, as I don't have the actual page with me right now. Alright, and another one, this was a WIPGO project from last year, which ended up getting put away because I made a mistake somewhere and I just couldn't work past it. This is Asian Scene by Creative Accents and Dimensions. This is a project that my great aunt stitched for my brother when he was younger, and I loved it so much I had to have the kit for myself. And this is on the printed 14 count Aida cloth. And that is my start. And the mistake I made was in this side of the Buddha. This whole thing has to come out at some point. This whole area. I made a fair size boo-boo. So, sometimes when I get frustrated with my projects and I make a mistake, I put it away instead of fixing the mistake. That's the big mistake. That's the thing you shouldn't do, because then when you come back and you want to fix the mistake, you don't know where it is anymore. But yeah, I put things in timeout a lot because of that. Alright, and then another WIP that is now an inactive WIP. These are projects that are going to get finished at some point and have not become UFOs or are going to get donated anyplace. I'm still going to finish them, I'm just not sure when. What page are you on? Oh. This is Elegant Peacock by Doreen Jones. I love this one. I don't know why I stopped working on it. And this is in the Cross Stitch Gold magazine issue 62, September, October. Cross Stitch Gold doesn't exist anymore, which is a shame because they were great magazines. And this is my progress on this. So, got the upper body of the peacock finished, but the tail did me in. I decided to give up on the tail, so hopefully maybe sometime, who knows, it might come out this year and it might not, but it's not a goal, so we will see what happens with that one. But it is beautiful. Doreen Jones makes some lovely projects, lovely designs. The next one, I'm going to have to insert a picture here of what the project is. This is my Enchanted Aurora. No, Aurora. I can't even remember the name of the project now. Enchanted Aurora, I'm pretty sure, is the name of the pattern. And this is being stitched on a 32 count Lugana in Discord from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And the needle is just sticking out of here. That is so unsafe. It's ready to stab me at its first opportunity. This is where I am on her. So she is beautiful. The fabric is beautiful. Oh my god. I need to get back to this so bad. I haven't worked on her in a few years, at least. And I don't know why. She's just gorgeous. But this fabric though, like holy cow. Like, how could you not? This, I think Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, this was like their most popular fabric, and I can see why. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. But she's a stunner. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. I just, for some reason, haven't got back to stitching her. So, I'm gonna have to pause this, guys. I think my mother-in-law is home and the dogs are going absolutely nuts. Hang on a minute. And we're back. Okay. Okay, we just got a few more projects and then we're done. Alright, so this was a project that I did last year for WIPGO, and it was my Wolf's Kiss by Dimensions. And I didn't do too much on it last year, honestly. I think I just put in a few stitches. Oh, this is going to be hard to... Apparently I need to finish filming this and have some lunch. Alright, try to unfold that a little better. So we've just got the first snout of the first wolf there. This is a Zach Fair needle minder that I got ages ago, Final Fantasy. So, yep, not too much done on this one. I don't know when I'm going to get back to it, but I do love it. It's beautiful. I just really need to tell myself no new starts anymore. I gotta get cracking with this. This was started on March 31st of what year? I'm not sure. Doesn't say. I would say like 2016 maybe. So this project's quite old. And I apologize for any zipping that you guys are going to hear. Alright, the next one is another kit that hasn't been worked on in a very long time. This is Wolf Trio by Creative Accents. Can't tell I love wolves, right? And this one's really only got a very small start on it. On the first wolf in the center. So that's the start of this wolf here. So, yeah. I was a serial starter back in the day. Had to start everything. I still feel like that though, which is not good. But my boyfriend looked at me like I was absolutely crazy when I started Magnificent Wizard and DandeDuo back to back. And he's like, you don't need more projects. And I'm like, yes, I do. I was like, just let me be happy, please. Just let me be happy. I need this right now. And he knew not to fight me on it, so... yeah. I have a good man in my life, that is for sure. He teases me about all my new starts, but he knows it keeps me happy, so... Alright, this is Whom Watching Whom. This is also a Dimensions kit. This was a project that was started by my mother several years ago when I was teaching her to cross stitch, and she just never finished it. So, it is on me to finish it eventually. And, oh, the floss stuck in the middle. This is how far she got on it. So, she did good. She did good. My mom's done a few cross-stitch projects in her time. But she quickly gave up on it because she lost patience for it. So, and I hear that a lot, that a lot of people don't want to try stitching because they don't think that they'll have the patience. Honestly, I can understand. The older I'm getting, the less patience I have. And I'm not that old, so... Alright, and then, this is a kit that I don't see too often at all, and I'm fairly certain is retired. This is White Lightning. Dimensions Gold. Again, a project I was trying to stitch for my dad back in the day, and just never got there. Never got to finishing it. This is terrible. My way of finishing things back, you should see the back of this thing. It's, oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm trying to think of which way this goes, because I don't know. I think it goes this way. Yep, I think it goes this way. Oh, it's hard to see. This back is very bulky, and I've tied it off in places it shouldn't be tied off and things, and oh my gosh. But this is the part of the tiger's shoulder here, up along this side. So, yeah, that's the right way up. And yeah, the back of this is like, I don't know how I ever, I just don't even know. Yeah, so I don't know whether this is going to be a project that I finish or I donate to charity and, well, not to charity, but donate to, you know, thrift and hope that somebody else can finish it, because, yeah, I'm not too happy with how the back of that's looking. It's pretty sad. But back then I didn't know better, you know? Alright, and the next one is my Dimensions, the Dolphin's Domain, which was a project I did last year for Winter the Dolphin, who passed away. I mean, I guess it wasn't last year, it was the year before last year. So that's when these projects were done as WIPGO. It was 2 years ago, not last year. I didn't do WIPGO last year. But that's the Dolphin's Domain. And I tried to do a sal for it. A few people joined in. Not too many, though. And this is where that one is. So my WIPGO goal back when I did it was to do the center dolphin, and I managed to finish it. So we have 2 dolphins now. I just have 2 to go and a bunch of half stitching in the background. So again, this is not an active goal to finish at all, but I would like to finish it sometime soon, because it's been a WIP for quite a while as well. We're almost to the end, guys, I promise. We're getting there. Alright, and then the next one is Creative Accents. This is Asian Orchids. This one would be a fairly quick stitch if I got back to doing it and could finish it. And which way does this go? This way. That's where I'm at on that one. So quite a ways to go yet, but again, I think that if given a chance, I could finish it quickly enough. I just need to really buckle down on these things. The next one is the Gold Collection Woodland Enchantress. She was a brief start back when I tried to film my first stitch with me, which was kind of a mess. That was several years ago. And could I tell you which way is up and which way is down? Not really, but that's all I started. So not very much. It's just 18 count kit fabric. But yeah, she's beautiful, and I would love to get more on her done too. I do, if you guys remember, maybe you guys are long-time followers, maybe you're not, I do have the companion piece for this, the Fire Fairy? Woodland Fairy? I can't remember the name of it now. Anyways, I do have the companion piece for this, and I do have it started, and I have, you know, a good, not quite quarter of it finished. However, I wasn't really happy with it, because at one point I stopped and decided to wash it, and then I think what had happened was everything shrunk, and so I think sometime down the road I'm gonna have to repurchase the kit and restart it, because it went downhill very quickly, just like this pile of WIPs is going to go. It's falling down, it's all crashing. It's all crashing. Oh my gosh, okay. Alright, and then, now I just have a couple of other projects to show you guys, and then I'm finished. That's not a WIP anymore. Okay, I have 2 more WIPs that are non-active WIPs. And then I do have another one that's a potential UFO. Not sure yet. Haven't made up my mind. Let's get the tablet back out again. Alright, so this WIP that I have is my Captain America cross stitch, which was once again done by the Needle Minder Layer on Etsy. Excuse me. And I do believe this is also a pattern that no longer exists. She has taken down a lot of her stuff from her shops. Not sure why, but a lot of stuff has been removed. And this is just being stitched on 18 count white. And that's all I've gotten so far. So I need to get back to this. And, yep, because the start of Steve's head is coming in here. Yeah, it's a cute project and I love it, but yeah, it's been a while. So we'll see on that one. And then the next one that I have is my mini Equinox by Bench Slick, another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. And I do love her. She's very gorgeous. And I haven't quite pegged out a page finish on her yet. But that is where we're at. And you can see her face coming in. It's funny the way that this is stitched. It makes it look like she has a super pointy nose. But I love the way that this blends together. It's so nice. Yeah, I love this one too. And as we all know, with Heaven and Earth, it's fun to start them, but then, you know, try to get caught up with them and stay caught up with them is like a whole other situation entirely, right? Because then you sometimes forget some, and yeah, so that's those guys. So that's that. And then the only other WIP that I do have another one of these kits, but it's in storage right now, so I can't even get it out and show you guys. And that's the Bambi's First Year Thomas Kincaid kit. I think anybody that knows the Thomas Kincaid kits knows the struggle that you have with these things. And this is where I got to before I gave up. Look at the little baby eagle that's in here. Look at that tiny little eagle. Anyway, I'm not 100% decided whether or not this is a trash it and move on project or not. When I was working on this, I was having a lot of fun. However, I just don't know whether it's worth it to carry on with it, or if there's a way that I can restart it and rechart it. If anybody knows or has done these before and substituted everything out to redo it the right way, please let me know. To be completely honest, I don't even see the chart in here. I have my photocopied version of the chart, but I don't see the original chart in here, which is a problem. I think I know where it is, though. The one thing that I think I know where it is. And then I also have the Lion King project as well. So, if any of you guys know of a place where I could get conversion charts for those projects, it would be greatly appreciated. Because these are beautiful projects and I would love to stitch them. The fabric and the floss, I mean, the amount of issues I've had with floss colors is just, I don't even know. So, but yeah, this is my only UFO right now. I haven't worked on this in a long time. I haven't felt any desire to work on it, even though it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's a mess. So, let me know. And then the only other thing that I have to show you guys is something that I did yesterday, which I'm quite proud of. I sat in front of the sewing machine and I made 2 grime guards. Oh, you can see River. I made 2 grime guards. What prompted this was I wanted to make a grime guard for a fellow Flosstuber. And I reached out to them, got the size they wanted, got the fabric they wanted, and then I proceeded to misread their message and made the wrong size grime guard. So, yeah. The first one I have here is for an 8x8 Q snap in the tiger print. But I'm very proud of them. despite the fact that this one was supposed to be for myself. This was supposed to be for an 11 by 11 Q snap. It is now for an 8 by 8 Q snap. So, oops. And then this one is the other fabric. Oh, come on now. And this was supposed to be a 11 by 17, but it's an 8 by 11. So, what I'm going to do is, if you guys would like to have this 8 by 11 grime guard with the lovely tigers and other large cats on it, please use the word, let's see, safari in the comments section below, and you guys can win this grime guard. I don't know if anybody uses 8 by 11 Q snaps, but that's what this one is. So, and it was just a, it's by no means perfect, but it was a, you know, a new sewing experience for me, and it was just a boo-boo on my part. So I would like to give this to someone who would like to make use of it. Like I said, 11 or an 8 by 11 Q snap, and use the word safari in the comments below, and I will pick a winner for that at the end of the month. So yeah, that is it for my WIPGO / WIP Parade video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm hoping now that I can be a little bit more consistent with my videos. I always say that, I know. I always say it, and it never seems to happen. But I promise you guys this year is going to be different. I'm tackling WIPGO. I'm going to be more consistent with my videos. And I just want to be a better Flosstuber in general. I want to be, you know, active in the community and do better that way. I know there's a lot of Flosstubers that I follow, and not every time do I leave comments and things like that. And yeah, I just realized, you know, I was talking with Jamie at Teeny Weeny Stitches recently, and it, you know, just talking with her made me realize that this community really is one of the greatest support systems that I have. And so reaching out and connecting with you guys is really great and therapeutic for me. And I really, really appreciate your company. Even if you're just staying to watch the video and stitch along, or if you comment or you reach out to me on Instagram, any of those are absolutely fantastic by me, and I welcome any form of communication with you guys for sure. And any of you guys that have come over and have been a new subscriber since, you know, since I've come out here to Nova Scotia, I really appreciate you, each and every one of you, and I hope you're enjoying your visit on my channel and that you stay. I really hope to improve my channel a little bit, and like I said, to just do a little bit better as a person and as a Flosstuber. So hopefully you guys will hear more from me, and I'll be a little bit more active, and I just want to take time to be thankful and appreciative of everybody that takes their time to message me and to leave a comment. It doesn't go unnoticed, even if there's times, I know there was a period of time where I wasn't replying to messages, and I think that was in and around the time that my father had passed away and I was sick with COVID and stuff like that. So I don't want anybody to ever feel like I'm neglecting them if I don't comment back. I just assume that I'm like down and out for whatever reason, because usually I'm very good at replying to my comments on my videos as I get them. So again, I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here and being present with me on this beautiful stitchy journey that we're all on. And I hope to see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye!